I appreciate everybody who decided to vote for me for this award. One thing I wanted to say to you guys tonight is I hope a lot of creators in here and everybody at home and the viewers and the streamers really take care of your mental health. I just noticed that recently I just been going through things in my head, and I was able to, turn to anime, Death Note, Naruto, recently since I've been gone, and I just been able to, find happiness within that. But yeah, as for the word of collab, I want to preach to everybody, within our community, us collabing is everything. You feel what I'm saying? So collaboration is everything. And I know this year has been very difficult on the fan bases, the communities, and of...
Number one thing off rip, not to be super whatever when it comes to this sort of stuff, but off rip, I don't really have any patience for multi-millionaires, famous people coming out and telling me about their mental health. I really don't care. I don't care. I refuse to care. I don't think I'll ever care. Because I personally think that is a price of admission. It's a weird world he lives in, right? It's a very, very weird world where he has this very niche celebrity, but it's incredibly intense. It's incredibly parasocial. People probably come up to him in every way, in every walk of life, wherever he's going. He probably gets bothered all the fucking time. He probably can never really truly enjoy himself unless he's indoors, which kind of goes against, making it that well and trying to enjoy yourself. You can't really do that when you step outside and everyone's kind of harassing you for autographs and selfies and stuff. I understand it must be hard day to day, but when you get into this game, when you try and succeed the way he has succeeded, or when you're on this journey of trying to achieve your dreams, when you end up achieving your dreams, when you end up going for it the way you're going for it, you have to realize or come to the acceptance that one of the prices of admission is that your privacy is null and void, and it's gonna fuck with your head. Those are the things it's like a devil's bargain. If you want this life, if you want this acclaim, if you want that money, if you want that celebrity status, you have to give up something. And what you give up is basically your privacy, and what you give up is basically your sanity, in a way, because it's a really strange life. And plus, this kid, I think, is he might not even be over 25. I don't know how old he is specifically, but he's definitely under 30. Being under 30, for the most part, you're already going through stuff anyway as a young man. Plus, you've achieved all your dreams, right? He must be in a weird place because literally he's like a multi-millionaire. Probably, I wouldn't even say, maybe in a double, triple digits. Cenat, right? He's been making money for a long fucking time. So most likely he's achieved everything he could achieve in life, which I think is a struggle that a lot of people don't really talk about too often, right? What happens when you're extremely young and you make it? And you make it from the ground up, from the mud, not from your parents' inheritance and stuff, but you actually make it, right? So, which kind of, because I not to say that if you get money from your parents, it doesn't matter or it's insignificant. I just think if you get it out from the mud, there's a training, there's like a personality building that you get from making it from the mud. You kind of learn a lot about yourself. Cool. So imagine doing that when you're 25, 24, 23, 22. You're going to feel very accomplished, but you're also going to feel stuck. You're also going to feel a bit lost. What else is there to do when I've literally done everything? So that could be a bit of a mindfuck. I understand. But to kind of, because in my personal opinion, when I hear him talk about mental health, the kind of feeling that I'm getting is that he's sort of not so subtly saying that, yeah, he was, had maybe some unaliving thoughts, or he was getting really dark. And I just think when you're in that position, you kind of owe it to your fans, you owe it to yourself to keep your counsel, keep that to yourself if need be, seek the help if you need it, but to put it out there and to try and make it seem like, you are like everybody else and we all have these struggles. It's not really though, isn't it? Not really. And not all struggles are made the same. Being a multi-millionaire kid who's maybe achieved everything you can achieve in streaming and doesn't know what else to do next, that's a completely different, struggle than somebody that's legitimately trying to make sure they can keep a roof over their heads. Somebody whose belly is rumbling because they haven't eaten for 3 days and they're fucking in their mid-40s and shit. Somebody who hasn't got anyone to lean on. Those troubles are very different. So when those people, real people, are going through mental health issues, I have all the patience, all the sympathy, all the empathy in the world. But when it comes to rich celebrities trying to use the mental health thing to garner sympathy, to garner whatever, to make themselves look more relatable, or even maybe to have to enhance that parasocial bond, I don't like it. Because if the fans then start getting too involved in his relationship and start fucking talking about his girl or talking about him in general, he'll start talking about, yo, your guys are too parasocial. But then here you are on an award stage talking and sharing about your mental health to the world. They don't really need to. And is it really your mental health issues, or are you just having a crisis of confidence? You're at a career crossroads, which is probably what it is. It's probably more so to do with, again, not to psychoanalyze the guy. His thoughts are his thoughts. How he feels is how he feels. But if I'm just giving my opinion from the outside in, I would say his quote unquote mental health has more to do with the fact that he fucking killed it this year. He's killed it previous years. That subathon he did, he fucking killed it, right? With the celebrities that came through, the clips that came through. The fucking, the universe is like, is in his hands. He can do what the fuck he wants. He's achieved everything. So I can definitely empathize with the idea of like, oh shit, imagine how it must feel if you're a young kid and you've literally completed life. What else it's kind of difficult. Like in a way, you and I have to be kind of thankful for our struggle. We kind of have to be thankful for our journey, because it kind of gives us something to aim for. Right? Even if we don't achieve it, we've got something to aim for that keeps us going day to day. Imagine if you're 25 and you've made it. Like, it's going to be really hard to figure out how to move, what your next step should be, even how to get out of fucking bed. So I have sympathy for that. But the whole mental health angle thing, I don't. And I think in general, going forward, not going to lie, I'm a little bit tired and bored of this like men's mental health movement anyway. I'm not gonna lie. This is a very toxic point of view of mine. You're not gonna get a lot of these sort of like quasi fresh and fit fucking red pilly type of opinions from me usually. But where I kind of align when it comes to kind of having, stereotypical views and points, I just think as a man, your responsibility as a dude is to grin and bear it. Your role in the family is to grin and bear it. When everyone's falling to pieces, when everyone is understandably crumbling around you, you're the one that should remain stalwart. You're the one that should remain solid. You're right. If anything, my analogy would be when everybody's crying, you should be the one consoling them, wiping away their tears. When everyone's done crying, that's when you get the chance to cry. It's like real leaders eat last. That's when you get a chance to cry, after they finish crying. But this new generation, this new era we live in, where men are now flailing on the floor, screaming, crying, hysterically, snot coming out of their nose, talking about mental health and all that shit. It's too much. Men aren't meant to be that emotional. Men aren't meant to be that, that fucking, anxious and shit. You should always be stalwart in your decisions and whatever else that you do. And then if you want to have a cry and a sob, console the fucking bosom of your partner and shit and sob into her titties or some shit. But going on social media and crying about all this sort of stuff and trying to garner sympathy and empathy, I'm not with it. I'm not with it in the slack, because it doesn't do anything anyway. It don't do anything. Like, we can't help Kai Cenat. There's nothing that we can do to help him. We can send him messages and be like, thoughts and prayers. I'm sorry like that fucking phrase everyone says, I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry you feel that way. Whatever that fucking means, right? Thoughts and prayers, whatever that fucking means, because nobody's thinking about you and no one's praying over you. So it doesn't actually do anything. So it's a legit waste of time. A legit waste of time. Men shouldn't complain. Men shouldn't bitch. Men shouldn't moan. You should just keep it inside, keep it to yourself, let it fuck up your insides, let it fuck up your mental, and then move from there. I'm just not really with it. Honestly, I'm just not really with it. I'm not really with it. I'm not going to ever be with it, but it is what it is.